there's a type of fight that inherently makes people want to watch regardless of what the names are. And for this example, a champion that can't just keeps defending the belt, a champion that seems to not be able to be beaten, i.e., a George St. Pierre or an Anderson Silva in their era. You want to watch in the way like Floyd Mayweather. It's that classification of a fight of, can this guy be beat, and if he can, who is it going to be, and if he can't, how's he gonna beat him this time? Like, how's the champion gonna, like, what's his next highlight reel gonna be? And I think a big part of why that's such a draw, no matter what the name is, that factor of, can this guy get beat? It doesn't matter who it is. That's just so fun to watch. There's another category of fight that shares all of those same characteristics, and it's the up and comer, the guy on the rise, the guy that showed something incredible early in their career and is being built and is working his way up towards a title shot. And that was the Sugar Show. We've seen it with Johnny Walker. We've seen it with Chase Hooper. We've seen it with so many guys and girls. And what happens is, it's that they're that person that seems to not be able to be beat, that person that seems to not be able to be touched until they are. And that's how it always goes. You can't wait to see their next fight because they seem unstoppable until they get stopped, until they get beat, and all of a sudden all that hype that's been building, people kind of go, oh, okay, he's not that good. And it's just a natural response from the fans to go to the second that guy loses, to just pretty much go, well, I guess not. It happened with Johnny Walker. It happened a little bit with Chase Hooper. The thing is, those guys they made that run for a reason. But it takes away from that spectacle. And with Sean O'Malley, on top of that star rising fun storyline, he was also undefeated professionally, which added to it. He was off the Contender Series, which had even more hype. He was the first guy that, Snoop Dogg went nuts when he was doing the commentary with Uriah Faber. There's so many special little things that added to the story value of Sean O'Malley coming up. And when he fought Andre Sukumthath, he had, I don't know exactly what the injury was. Whatever it was, it seems he re-injured it last night. But he still won that fight with that injury. And that was a showcase of just incredible toughness and perseverance that, a lot of people may not have noticed. I think it was the first fight on that pay-per-view back in the day, and it was just like, I think that was Cyborg Kunitskaya, yeah. And that just adds to that story of, can this guy get beat? And when it goes like that, like when his first loss goes like that, and I do think that Chito Vera was being looked past by the fans, if not Sean. I don't think Sean was looking past him, but Chito was looking good. Chito was being patient, and I think he had the right game plan to beat O'Malley had there not been the injury. But for this storyline with the best possible scenario of this rising a star, for it to end with a self-inflicted weird injury, it's just like, it can't derail any worse than that. But I think it might also deter some people from going, oh, I guess not, because it's a lot easier to chalk that up as a fluke incident, which it was. So hopefully he doesn't lose the momentum. I don't think he will. I felt bad because I really thought Chito was going to, be able to put together the performance to beat him fair and square. And then Chito is just like, hey man, you brought your momentum and now I took it and I can rise with it. But when something like that happens, it's nobody wins, and that's hard to watch. But yeah, it's just an interesting thing that like that those kind of fights you gotta love them. Like my favorite kind of fight is, can this guy get beat? We remember it with like Demetrius Johnson. Can he be beat? And it seemed like no until he did. Or with Johnny Walker, he was just knocking people dead left and right, and it became a better and better opponent, and he kept beating them. It's like, this guy can't be beat until he was. And then sometimes the other reason you can't look away is sometimes that until he was doesn't happen, and they make it all the way up like a Conor McGregor and become the champion. And it's just like you watch it build and build, and then it gets to the peak. And I don't know, that's just the most fun part of there's so many fun storylines. It's like but it's also why at the end of almost every fight you feel the emotions of both guys at the same time, and it's just like, you know, you feel so good for one, so bad for the other. But when it's an injury like that with Sean last night, you can't feel good for anybody, and that's the worst.